Hey. So a little bit different format than you guys are probably used to, but thank you so much for watching, and I really appreciate all the support, the comments, and the new subscriptions. You guys are really awesome. Okay, so what I want to do is I'm trying to be consistent here. This week was kind of crazy. So Mondays I can't do anything because I teach basically all day at our homeschool co-op, and then I co-lead our women's book club at church. So Mondays are off the table. Yesterday was our 16th wedding anniversary, and although I had basically all day long to do stuff, I just didn't. Like, I'm just gonna be honest with you guys, I was super lazy. I just kind of lounged around the house and didn't do a whole lot. So, and then we went out for dinner, and it was a really, really lovely night. We had a great time. And then today I was kind of lazy basically during the day, and then I was working on like January or my February content calendar, so I'll be releasing that in a little bit. But also I was trying to go through like, how did videos go for January? What did content look like for that? What was I able to accomplish? What did I need to work better on? That kind of thing. So I'm going to talk through some of that in this video. So for January, I missed the spice organization content video. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take a picture of my spice organizer and share it with in the YouTube feed, because when I was looking at it, like, I opened the drawer and I opened my cabinet and I realized that I really didn't need to clean any of that because I had done it a few months ago. And other than just needing to refill some spices, which I have to wait till February anyway, because I have to wait for my Azure standard order to come in and see what spices got left off my order. They were out of a bunch of stuff when I ordered, so I have to wait and see. So that might be something that's coming, I'm not sure yet. And then the 2024 goals. And so what I kind of tend to do, and this is how I've done this in the past, is in January I kind of set like an intention for the year, and then I give each month kind of a like a microscope. So I set an overall intention for the year. And this year my intention is to lose weight. Like, I want weight loss. That's my big intention for the year, on top of a bunch of other stuff, but like, that's what I really want my focus to be. So then I go through each month and I pick books that help me remain in that intention. I pick maybe scripture to help me focus on that intention. And then I'll also pick like sub goals for each month that drive me towards that bigger goal. So it's just easier, because if I just say I want to lose weight, it'll be like everybody else who makes a New Year's resolution and then like 2 weeks later they're over it, right? That's not me. I want this to be like the thing that's kind of driving me. So my main overall or overarching goal for 2024 is my health and my family's health. I think last year, being so sick for so long, it made me realize that I'm not a spring chicken anymore. I've got plenty of gray to prove it. And I just need to, I really need to get on top of this. I need to get on top of my weight. I need to get on top of my health before it's too late. So I don't want to be one of those people that's looking back at her grandchildren when she's 60 or 70, God willing, and I'm not able to play with them because I'm so out of shape and out of breath, and I'm not able to be involved in life. So this is just a thing that I need to do. Okay, so that's like my big picture goal. And then my sub goals are going to be continue getting out of debt. We had gotten out of debt, so we have a financial goal for this year. We had gotten out of debt in 2020, but we ended up right back in debt in 2021 when we closed on our house. And the house was so much bigger than the house that we were renting, and we had a ton of work to do, and unfortunately we financed a bunch of it. So it just is what it is. We were just a bad steward of the resources we were given, and trying to keep up with the Joneses, and there's no excuse. I'm just telling you how it happened, right? I'm not making excuses. This is not a poor us or anything like that. We'll get there just like we did it before. It's just going to be another slog, and it's just going to be a matter of putting our nose to the grindstone and doing the thing. And just like with weight loss, it sucks. You know, the discipline to get out of debt is the same discipline that's required to lose weight. And I know, because I've lost the weight once and gained most of it back, and then also we got out of debt and then we ended up right back in debt. So like, it's a matter of a lack of self-discipline. So that's all it is. So health and finances, under kind of like the health subcategory, one of the goals for 2024 is to, and I think I've talked about this in one of my past videos, but single source ingredients. So as I run out of things here at the house, I am looking up how to make them. And if it's too difficult to make it, then I'm gonna attempt to find an organic replacement. And then if that's either cost prohibitive or really not that good, then I'm just gonna either find an alternative that I can make or can be bought organic, or we're not gonna do it. Whatever it is, we're not gonna do it. Now, this doesn't mean that I'm gonna get like militant, because like I have crumble cookies sitting on my counter from our anniversary last night. This is not like, it's just a conviction that I've been having, that I want to eat more, I don't know, local, seasonal, just better. And I know that that will also help the overarching goal of losing weight and returning to a more healthy lifestyle. And the other thing is that because the past few months I just had been so sick and have had no energy, I let a bunch of stuff into the house that I wouldn't have let into the house, and I bought it. Like, this wasn't other people in the house, it was me. Like frozen pizzas and Hot Pockets and Pop-Tarts and stuff that we haven't eaten like in a really long time. I just was like, okay, it's convenient and other people can prepare it and I don't have to. And two things happened with that. That's very expensive. It's very expensive to eat that way. A lot of people think that to single source ingredients is expensive. No, it's way more expensive to eat convenience, processed, fast food. Far more expensive. And then also, it's just bad. Like, I've generally, not only have I been sick, but I've generally felt inflamed, bloated. I've been breaking out really bad. It's kind of hard because this lighting is very, like, it's washing me out a lot, but like I've got bumps all along here. My skin has just been like basically awful. I have been just fine with natural deodorant for over a year now, and when we started eating a bunch of processed foods, the natural deodorant isn't cutting it anymore, not throughout the whole day. And I'm having to strip shirts again, and that hasn't happened in over a year. So I know that the highly processed foods are contributing to like weird body odor, and that's gross. I don't want that. On top of, I don't want the bloating and the inflammation and the weight gain. I also don't want to feel like a slug, and I just have felt so much like a slug over the past few months. So it has to go. It has to go. But like, I'm still gonna make cookies. I'm just gonna attempt to either source organic, local, or find like alternatives that we enjoy just as much or more. And if not, either that, or I have to decide. And I think this might be like a neat little challenge for myself, not you necessarily, but just for me. Is it worth it to bake the thing or make the thing or figure out how to source the thing versus the convenience item? So just for example, let's say that I have frozen pizzas, okay? And I'm not saying that if you eat frozen pizzas, you're bad or anything like that. This is my journey. So it's me and my family. I'm not trying to be your Holy Spirit. I'm not trying to convict you of anything. This is just me, okay? So let's say I have a frozen pizza, and I'm looking at it, and it's full of like preservatives. It's full of just trash ingredients, right? How much harder would it be for me to make like 8 pizzas and then freeze them? What would that look like? Is it worth it for me to invest the time and energy and money into making the frozen pizzas and having them in the freezer versus buying the cheap frozen pizzas with the trash ingredients? Or should I just make pizzas like fresh from scratch? So I kind of want to like dabble with that. And I don't know if that made sense, but if I want brownies, then it's so much easier to go to the pantry and pick out the box of brownies that I bought at Publix versus going through and making brownies from scratch, right? So one of the things that I want to kind of challenge myself is not to necessarily like withhold the brownies per se. But if I want brownies, then I need to go through the actual work of making brownies from start to finish and not from a box and not going to Publix to get them. So like, and not because like the box is bad or anything like that, but because I feel like this is a self-discipline issue and it's also a patience issue. It's just so much easier to grab the thing that's already prepared, the boxed thing or the pre-made thing or whatever. And how much more would I enjoy the indulgence if I had to spend several hours sourcing and making the thing? So I think that that's going to be something that I challenge myself to this year. We still have a bunch of crap in the house, of course. So I've just been very slowly getting rid of it. Either Austin's eating it or I'm hiding it. I'm doctoring foods. Like I had some canned soups left, trash ingredients, but I added like whole foods to them to make them. I added instead of subtracting, okay? So that's another thing that I want to look at. Instead of like off limiting whole groups of food like carbs or whatever, I'm not going to be doing that, but I am going to add. So if I want some rice, great, I'm gonna have some rice, but what can I add to the rice to make it more filling? A ton of protein. I can add taco meat, I can add steak or chicken. Like the rice isn't off limits, but I wanna add to it so that it becomes a more nutritionally dense food, if that makes sense. All right, so that's on the health and the weight loss and the finances. My 2024 book list, I'm currently reading Eve in Exile, and I really, really enjoy the book. I really love it. But I'm tossing around the idea of doing like a sub playlist here on YouTube of like book reviews. We'll see. We'll see if I have the like bandwidth to do that or not with all the other stuff going on right now. If I do, I'll post about it, but we'll see. I also want to read Rules for Reformers and Mere Christendom, both by Doug Wilson. No Mere Mortals by Toby Sumner. So that's kind of like my theology sub list. And I pick a book for each month and then I'll kind of like, I'll leave the rest open. I'm a really, really quick reader. I don't tend to buy books unless I really enjoy them. I'll usually like check them out at the library first. And then if I really want that book at home in my home library, then I'll buy it. But I just read books so fast. But I actually pared down my book list a whole ton for this year. Sorry for the noise in the background. I'm not going to edit it out. This is your real life. Okay, so I actually pared down my book list a whole ton for 2024 because I don't want to give myself an out to be like consistently being like, oh, look, I'm doing something because I'm reading. And not that reading's bad, but I know me. I will be like, I'm productive because I'm uptaking this information and I'm reading. And reading's good. It's good for you, right? And that's true. It is good for you. But I will use reading as a way to be not productive. If that makes sense. I'll use reading as an excuse to not work out. I'll use reading as an excuse as to why I can't make dinner or why I need to stay up late to finish the next chapter, all that crazy stuff. So I need to not do that. So this year, my reading list is actually pared way down. It's one book a month. And I did pick some like harder reads too that are gonna take a little bit more brain power. So that was my kind of like theology sub list. My fiction sub list that year is That Hideous Strength by C.S. Lewis, Dracula, Dune, and Fahrenheit 451 by Bradbury. And then my practical sub list is The Hidden Art of Homemaking, Edith Schaefer, Nourishing Traditions, Sally Fallon, The Fruitful Life, Jerry Bridges, and that could actually probably go into theology as well, but I have a feeling that it's going to be really practical for me. And then Salt, Fat, Acid, Heat by Norsat. So those are my 12 books for the year that I want to tackle. And what inevitably will happen is people will recommend books to me throughout the year, and I'll add those to my reading list. But these are the 12 that I just want to like really knock out of the park this year. And then my content goals is to consistently publish at least one video a week on YouTube. And I'm gonna aim for 2, but that's gonna be way more spotty because I can already tell just this week alone, and this was kind of like a lazy week, that 2 videos a week is gonna be it's gonna be a stretch goal because it just takes a long time to sit down and have the brain power, the bandwidth to do the video or to set the tripod up and to even remember that's another thing that I have to do, is that I have to remember that I could be filming the stuff that I'm doing to make content. But most of the time it's just like a habit for me to go do the thing, and I don't think about it until I'm like midway through it, and then I'm like, ah, crap, it's too late. I can't video the thing now. So I just have to remember if I have barbecue sauce right now going on the stove that I'm gonna can, and I could have filmed the whole process, and I did not because I just didn't even think about it. So we'll see what happens with that. So 1 video a week is definitely my my comfort goal. And again, we'll see how that goes, because as we gear up back into the homeschool season, and then over the summer, sometimes we travel. I don't think we will be traveling this summer, but I really don't know, just in case. But we'll see what happens. So that's what I wanted to cover today. I wanted to cover kind of like my 2024 goals. A couple other things that I would really like to accomplish this year. I would really like to encourage younger women with younger children. I have a group of friends that I kind of already do this with, but I would like this platform to be a little bit more about that. I would really, really like to encourage younger women with younger children to love being the mom at home, to love being the homemaker, to love being the wife, to love their children. I want to encourage the way that I wasn't encouraged. I want to encourage you to be a lover of your husband and a lover of your children and a keeper of your home, right? So there's a lot in our culture right now that hates everything that I just said. So I want to encourage you to be anti-culture. It's so funny. The counterculture movement right now is to get married and have children and love your spouse and build a legacy. That's countercultural right now. So I just want to encourage you that if that's what you're doing, make it your mission. Do not let the shiny thing distract you. Girl, you don't need to be a girl boss. You don't need to be the CEO of your home. You already, you have so much worth as a woman and as a mom and as a wife and as a homemaker. You don't need more, okay? You're good. You've got this. This is a huge task. If you want to do this well, if you want to do homemaking and wifing and momming and you want to do it with excellence, it's a huge task, okay? Won't lie to you. Sometimes it feels super overwhelming. Sometimes you, if you're like me, you'll put pressure on yourself to do things that you maybe don't need to do. And sometimes I have to stop and ask my husband, hey, do I really need to be doing this thing? And he'll tell me, no, you don't. So, use prayer, use discernment, use your husband, get him involved. So I just want to encourage you that doing life with excellence takes all of your attention, and you don't need more. You're good. Okay? All right. I love you, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.